Hello. I'm Pierre Miller of the Desert Errata Pen Company, and I am here with an honest review of these two pens. Hey, this is Pierre Miller from Desert Errata Pen Company, and I'm here with two pens that I wanted to talk about. It's the same model, the Chiaroscuro. There are two materials at hand. One is called Christmasse Nightfall, and the other one is called Wintergröene. And I wanted to tell you where these pens came from, why they exist, and what the future of this model is going to be, if there is any. Fundamentally, these pens came about as a function of my hubris back in 2017, getting all, once you start having machine tools and you realize you can make stuff and you can make anything you want to, there's no limit to what your imagination can take you, is going to take you. And I thought people were interested in faceted pens. I like faceted pens. And I started thinking about, maybe I could make a faceted pen, but I didn't have a good reason to make a faceted pen or any kind of pen that wasn't round. And what I settled on was this material that I was able to find, this German ebonite, that looks really good, but strongly looks like the kind of thing that wouldn't really make a very good impression if you try to photograph it. And that is exactly the beginning of all the problems. So these Chiaroscuro, singular Chiaroscuro, however you want to call it. Chiaroscuro is a word that we use in art to talk about the juxtaposition of light and shadow in paintings that create a sense of drama. And I thought that that was really fitting for some of these materials, particularly this dark stuff that doesn't really, like if this was a round pen, it would be kind of subtle. But if I gave it facets, then that would be kind of interesting. Well, I started these in 2017, and I forget how many of them. I made a whole bunch of them. I cut the facets on a lot of them, and I sold some of them. But at some point I realized that I didn't have a very good way of finishing them, of taking the rough cut blanks of the material and taking them all the way to, as best I could get, a highly reflective polish. Well, that looks pretty nice. Yeah, I didn't really have a good way to do that. And so they literally sat in a tray, like this one, for about 9 years, something like that, until I had this brainwave of how I might better be able to finish them in a way that wasn't going to take me 20 years of my life. So in the product listing, you'll see that I said that these things have to be finished one facet at a time, and that is very much true. So these pens started in 2017. They were put on a shelf for a very long time, and I just finished them, and here they are. And this is, I guess, this was going to be a bit of a review, but I guess it's more of an overview, if anything. This pen is uniquely difficult to photograph, which brings me to the next problem of, well, how exactly do you sell something that's hard to show? And that is a real, that's a real thumper. That is a real problem. These pens, they don't really photograph well. So the best that I thought I could do is just try to do a good video and hope for the best. So this one is the, what I'm calling Christmasse Nightfall. And, I could show you, a little bit of this. This is kind of neat. Yovo number 6 nib in there. There's the the grip section and all that. But honestly, the best way that I think I can tell you what this is like is honestly just to tell you, because without seeing it in person, you're really not going to get the idea. So they're all very similar. I would call this a pen that is The base is a super dark black, and it's about 50% base dark black. This is the Christmasse Nightfall. About 50% dark black and 50% multi-layered ripple of kind of a slight electric green, darker green that kind of is overlaid over black. So like how some flowers look like two colors because there's one color and there's like a complementary color behind it that gives the appearance of seeing both at the same time, but predominantly the first one. So there's a dark green that looks like black is shining through it. So there's that dark green, kind of a lighter green, and then a very subtle magenta purple that also has a very slight amount of black shining through it. The black shining through the brighter colors is the problem. The black shining through the colors makes the whole thing kind of look washed out in a reverse way. I don't know the word for it, but you know, when there's too much white on something that's already light colored and you can't see it, well, this is too much black in something that's already close to black, so it makes it hard to see. So that is what the Christmasse Nightfall looks like. It is extremely subtle, and the facets really make it pop, and the barrels and the caps are kind of, they're very similar, but it's very subtle. So that's how I would describe the Christmasse Nightfall. If that color description appeals to you, and I think I'm pretty honest with that, if that color description appeals to you, this might be your guy. Christmasse Nightfall, these come in, you know, regular procession shape, and about 8 of them have ink windows that I cut. I could probably show one, but I cut ink windows right there, 3 of them, and the filling mechanism is clear. You'll be able to see right through there, so you'll be able to see through that. Check your ink level, but I only have a handful of them. That's the Christmasse Nightfall. Second one is Wintergröene, and this one I like a whole lot more just because it's much more straightforward in color. It is black and, you know, about 50-50 black and then 50-50 kind of a washed out ripple pattern of this vivid electric blue that is also, when I say washed out, I mean darked out, where there's just so much black shining through what looks like porousness of the electric blue, that the electric blue kind of looks, it looks like it's fading, but it's not fading hard to see, it's fading into black a little bit. So yeah, this is, I don't know, it's like we're looking into the, good Lord. If you saw this, and if you looked into the ocean and you saw this, you'd want to get out. But anyhow, yeah, that's the Wintergröene. It's mostly that electric blue. And honestly, one day today I'm saying blue, but if you ask me tomorrow, I might say green. I can't really tell, but it's kind of both. Putting it in bright light highlights the vivid light colors, the vivid light blue, but once you go into regular indoor lighting, it disappears. It almost disappears. So that's what they look like. I hate doing this, but honestly, that verbal description I just gave, I think probably says more about what you can expect than any of the pictures that I've been able to capture have. I'm not a great photographer, but I tried my best. My photographer is a good photographer, and they were not satisfied with the pictures that they were getting, so we're doing what I can. And how did this happen? Oh, gee, young, immature me bought a bunch of material that was intentionally difficult to see, and yeah, I was right. Yeah, it's hard to see, and it's hard to photograph, and so it's probably going to be hard to sell. But, well, anyway, that's what I did. So, in terms of the filling mechanism, same deal. 100% silicone rubber sack, air tested so that they actually work and they don't have pinholes. Cellulose acetate reservoir screwed into the ebonite grip section, all held in place with silicone grease and a nice, very highly precision machine fit. Take good care of it. This is definitely going to stain if you put something super staining in there, so stick to the mild-mannered inks that play well with others. because cellulose acetate does a very good job of taking color. Let's see, and this is just a basic bulb. There's no breather tube. The simple part of the mechanism is you just put it in, squeeze, get the air out, take the ink in, move it to the back, squeeze out some more air, repeat, and you'll fill it up. And this holds about 2.2 milliliters thereabouts. It's a very decent amount of ink that it holds for its size. And I'm wearing gloves for this because the dark color, the high gloss, and the facets just create fingerprint. This is a fingerprint magnet, and I will say, when I was polishing this, and I wanted to show you, but I was in too much of a hurry, so I didn't. I have dozens of pages of sandpaper that got lost just trying to finishing these things off, and it's so interesting to polish something wherein the level of polish is so high that fingerprints look like scratches. So this was the first pen where I had to use gloves throughout the process of finishing this, just so that I wasn't chasing my own tail. Anyhow, that's those. In terms of the future of this model, this is it. These are to be sold as is, no returns. You won't see them again. Limited edition doesn't even cover it. The production process of making those facets, I'm not going to do that again. I'm not saying I won't ever do another faceted pen, but it won't be like this, done this way. So if you like what you at least heard me talk about, because I know I didn't show very much so far, you better do your best. I hope you like it. Thanks for your time. DesideratedPens.com, and I'm Pierre Miller. Have a good day.